most. Those independents and those moderates that help the government elected, the ones that want universal health care, but they don't want to pay for it out of their taxes. Okay? So when he proposed his billions of dollars of health care, his universal health care plan, it wasn't just like right-wing extremists that were part of the Tea Parties and that were protesting at town hall meetings. Those were predominantly independent and moderate people, feeling as though they had buyer's remorse. What do I mean by buyer's remorse? You'll hear a lot of that lately coming up in the news. What do I mean by buyer's remorse?
Why I spend so much on this?
Okay, sure, but think of it in terms of dang it. Think of it in terms of politics. Buyer's remorse, meaning I shouldn't have voted for him.
Oh.
Okay, and this is the group that's going to be more likely to say that. All right. Education, as I said on Friday, every president's going to be the education president. Okay. Government turns control to local agencies and vouchers. Government subsidizes public education through college level, and what you see with Bill and Melinda Gates is exactly this right here. Okay, because Bill Gates is a liberal. Bill Gates is left. Okay, and here's a guy who makes millions of dollars in computers. But what does he know about teaching? And what does he know about what you need to learn in English? And one of the big things I hear as a problem about Springboard meaning Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, that doesn't teach you to write an essay. Okay? Instead, it's about interpreting main idea, listening to a poem, two versions of it, one done by some opera singer and the other done by Kurt Cobain. Okay, and then trying to analyze that. Now, you're going to need to analyze things in your life, but, I mean, what are you going to need more? Your analytical skills or your ability to write an essay? Okay, defense, we've already gone over this. It's not that they want to deprive our military men and women. They just don't want to overfund it to make it too big. Right? And here they want to increase spending on the military so that we are always ready. Herein lies the problem. President Clinton really reduced and closed a lot of bases in his last term. Okay, in his last 4 years, he closed an obscene amount of bases and cut military spending, all while getting intel on Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Okay, it is very well reported that President Clinton was aware of this jihadist threat against America and of terrorist threats to attack our homeland. But he had cut spending nonetheless. Good morning. He had cut spending nonetheless. When President Bush comes in, he's in his first year, September 11th happens, we found that our military was at an all-time low. We were not militarily wise prepared because we were suffering from the cutbacks of the previous Democratic president. So not only were we not prepared, but the Democratic president who had intel made us even more vulnerable, some Republicans would say, to the threat of the terrorists in 9/11. All right? And then environment. We should know where people on the left, they want you to drive those hybrid cars. They want cars that run on water. Okay? Well, that's interesting to me because if your car runs on water, what's that going to do to our water supply? Okay? Let's use some common sense here, people. And then again, you've got your conservatives. They want new energy, but in the same token, they also want to go up into Alaska and destroy the beautiful, pristine wildlife up there so that we can have more oil. Okay, so there's really no win between the two. And that's why here in the moderate section, you don't have a clear-cut answer. You don't have a, well, we would like this instead. I would say the best example of a moderate when it comes to energy would be those BP commercials. Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah.
The BP commercials that talk about, what type of different forms of energy and renewable energy people would prefer. And then it lists all these little stars like the sun. They want solar energy and some water power and some wind energy, okay, and some alternate fuel. Okay, those would be an excellent example of where a moderate falls. A moderate wants almost all of those things. All right? Hello. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to give you a better example of the ideological spectrum. How many of you in here found through your mini quizzes or through those quizzes that you were a libertarian?
I don't my small one
On the 10-question quiz, a 10-question quiz is skewed. Okay, we'll talk about polls tomorrow, but 10-question quiz is skewed to make it seem as though you are more libertarian or right-winger, okay?
I was centrist.
Or a lot of people are centrist.
Yeah.
Very few people are going to find themselves in 10 questions to be liberal. Okay, but when you took your own ideology quiz, you were far left, right? Okay. Far and top right, libertarian. Okay,
Still a centrist.
centrist. And for you, just a little bit under. Okay, then you're more of an independent. Let me